Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and proud fan since 1977.
Welcome to Yankees Stadium on a cool night, and that is Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who will make his major league debut here tonight. He was just called up from AA New Hampshire. He was with the ball club the last 2 springs training, so he's got a lot of friends on this ball club, and it'll be the first time in franchise history the Blue Jays start 3 Cuban-born players in their 9-man lineup. Gurriel was off to a great start in AA. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Blue Jays. They lost last night, but they're 12-6 on the season. Curtis Granderson, over his last 13 games, he's hit .371 with 5 extra base hits. He had a pinch hit RBI single in last night's game. And like Granderson, Solarte has been hot his last 11 games. He's hit over 300 with 3 homers, 7 RBIs, and take a note, 11 walks. He's been on base just about every game. He is getting on base a lot and setting the table for a lot of guys behind him.
Blue Jays get Sonny Gray tonight. The 28-year-old is going to be pitching on some extended rest. They had some postponements while the team was in Detroit playing the Tigers. So he is working on extended rest, just his 4th start of the season. Inflated ERA, a 1-1 record. He's seen the Blue Jays before in the past. 9 career starts against the Jays. He's pitched very well against them, a .245 earned run average. That's his lowest earned run average versus any opponent. So Sonny Gray says he's going to try and be a little bit more athletic tonight, pitch a little bit quicker. There are times where he can slow things down just a little bit. They want him to pick up the pace a little bit.
That's the way he pitched when he first came up to the majors with the Oakland A's. He worked quickly. He's very athletic. In many ways, he reminds me of Marcus Stroman. Granderson's in the box. Here's the first pitch of the game. It is in there for a strike, and we are underway. Granderson has yet to swing at a first pitch this season. Batting .333 on the season. Curtis is 15 for 45.
He was in the batter's box underneath the stadium here in the cage, doing a lot of extra work today, trying to hit the ball back through the middle. He came up with a huge hit last night for the Blue Jays. A single to drive in a run late.
They were just 1 hit away from winning the opening game of this 4-game series. In fact, they have lost the opener of a series twice, both times to the Yankees. They are 5-2 in series openers. Breaking ball, Granderson takes it downstairs. Boy, he has really done a great job of working the count.
He doesn't move until he sees the baseball. Very still at the plate. He's spread out. You can see he's choking up now with 2 strikes. He wants to see that ball as long as possible.
High drive into center. Hicks over into the alley. Made a little adjustment with his face mask and makes the catch. 1 out. Now the outfield's a good one here for New York. Gardner Hicks and Stanton in right field, and he has done a little bit of work in the outfield besides being the DH.
Yeah, he's playing right field tonight with Judge DH in just his 3rd start of the season in right field with Aaron being in the DH. This is what you were talking about. Let me pull that down so I can tell my teammates I've got it.
Something you don't think about when you're worried about being warm. Hey, maybe you can't hear me. So Hicks is all set now, and he's got that mask back up over his mouth and nose. Teoscar Hernandez hits it in the air. Stanton has a beat on it, waits for it, and it finally comes down 2 away. It is cool. It is 8 degrees here in New York. Dropped down to 7 actually. Now the wind speed, yeah, it's blowing pretty good. And right now it is blowing from the 3rd base foul line out to right field. Everybody's bundled up here on a cool night in the Bronx. So 2 away for Justin Smoak. Smoak, by his own admission, going through a tough time right now. He's batting .235 after getting off to a good start. But his on-base percentage is very respectable, .361.
He makes the pitcher work all the time. He'll get to those deep counts that you like to see. Right now, just missing the pitches. He's getting pitches to hit. He's just missing them. Earlier this year, a couple of weeks ago, he was hitting those balls out of the ballpark.
Fly ball to center. Hicks over into the alley, gives way to Brent Gardner, who makes the catch. 3 fly ball outs for Sonny Gray. Marco Estrada will take the hill when we come back to New York. Top of the order, Brent Gardner will lead things off for the Yankees. And now he's managing the Yankees, and he has seen his team get off to kind of a up and down start so far. They're 9-8. Take a look at the lineup. Brent Gardner, Aaron Judge, Didi Gregorius, and then Giancarlo Stanton. He's put up good numbers against Marco Estrada. A couple of doubles, 3 home runs, and 4 RBIs. And then down in the 7th spot in the lineup, Tyler Austin hit 2 home runs against Estrada back at Rogers Center, his first multi-home run game of his career. But the Blue Jays would come back and win that game later on.
Milestone night tonight for Marco Estrada. This is his 4th start of the season. It marks his 100th game as a Blue Jay. Here are his numbers in those 3 starts. Opponents hitting just .234 in that start against the Yankees. Just 2 mistakes. Through 7 innings against the Yankees, made those 2 mistakes. Austin got him for the 3 runs that he gave him up on those 2 hits.
And Gardner takes one up and away for ball 1. Gardner, 262 for the season. He's got 19 strikeouts already. Just foul wide of first. Gardner's a terrific table setter. He does a great job of getting on base, and it doesn't hurt that he's got Aaron Judge hitting behind him.
Yeah, he's going to see his share of fastballs, and he's always been a guy who takes a lot of pitches. I think you have to be aggressive with Gardner. You got to jump ahead and put him on the defensive.
Starting to heat up a little bit as the weather's getting a little bit warmer, batting .344 over his last 8.
Last time out for Marco, he was cruising against the Baltimore Orioles. He had 4 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. And in that 4th inning, things seemed to fall apart for him. A couple of doubles, a walk, another hit, a sacrifice fly. Had given up 3 runs, and that was it for the night.
After the game, he talked about having back spasms that really kind of grabbed him middle of the ball game and had him out of that game early. In the air, Gurriel going out into the outfield. Pilar calls him off and makes the catch. Gurriel ranging far out into the outfield. 1 away. Defensively, the Blue Jays have played very well in the field, committing just 9 errors, and in the infield, they've been really good.
And we got to talk about Lourdes Gurriel. He's going to get the first start, his first big league start at second base. He's played shortstop, but for the most part this year, he has played second base down in New Hampshire in Double-A baseball. He's played some short, but mostly over here. He will get his first big league start at second base. Remember, Devin Travis hurt his foot last night.
Granderson with a long run, and he's not going to get there. Granderson took kind of a circular route. This is his first start in right field this season, but he's played out there a lot. He's made his 402nd career start in right field. But when you play against Judge, you certainly don't guard against boot base hits.
Yeah, let's watch Gurriel. There he is. He is playing in the pole, then they shifted him over. He was called off by Granderson, but it falls in there. One thing to remember with Marco Estrada, he gets a lot of lazy pop-ups. They have a lot of trouble squaring up the baseball and driving the ball into the gap, so you don't have to play that deep in the outfield when he's pitching.
D.D. Gregorius batting .327. He goes after the first pitch. This is a tough lineup for Estrada. The lineup, it's the way it's configured tonight, has hit 16 home runs against Marco Estrada. And he has surrendered more home runs against the Yankees than any other club. 20 in total.
20 of them in 15 starts, but they've only hit .223 against him.
That's the good news. Marco has pitched well in this ballpark. 3-0 for his career here at Yankee Stadium.
I think for him to be successful against the Yankees, got to jump ahead, and you do that by using your fastball. It's a pretty good looking pitch.
Yeah,
you can
that's
see
a good pitch.
Russell Martin, whenever he points out to that pitcher, he's telling him, hey, that was a pretty good pitch.
Lance Barksdale is the umpire behind the plate in game 2 of this series. Well, there's a great changeup. That's always Estrada's go-to pitch when he gets in a jam, and I don't care if the hitter knows it's coming or not. He sells it so well, it's effective.
Teams that he has had problems against are teams that look for that changeup. So that's why I think that fastball is going to be important for him to use it often. Jump ahead. You can even use it as a finishing pitch. If they're looking for that changeup, you can buzz that fastball by him.
2-2 to Gregorius. Upstairs, there's the fastball.
And he had Gregorius beat. You could see he was looking for the changeup, and he actually threw that fastball. If he threw it over the plate, it would have been strike 3.
Full count, 1 out. Judge at first. Estrada did a nice job holding the ball. Gurriel at second goes to second base for the lead runner. Well, Estrada did a good job of holding the ball, freezing Judge just in case he had thoughts of running. Gurriel shows good range going to his left.
Good range and a tricky little hop right at the end. Watch this ball come up on him, and he corrals it, spins, and throws a strike to second base. The ball wasn't hit hard enough to turn 2. There's that tricky hop. He just, with soft hands, caresses that ball to make the out.
2 outs now. Giancarlo Stanton steps in. He's 5 for 14 for his career against Estrada. Stanton had an infield hit in last night's game. That snapped an 0 for 15 streak. Been a rough stretch for Stanton lately. That base hit came in the 5th inning. He finished up 1 for 3 on the night.
Had a walk. And Aaron Boone was asked about that, the manager of the Yankees, and he said, you know what, we dropped him down from 3 to 4. I still want him when he gets hot to hit with runners on. He said anytime you drop him past 4, 5, or 6, then you're asking for the team to pitch around him, and they don't want that.
On the homestand, Stanton is 1 for 10. For the season, just 4 hits here at Yankee Stadium. Off the end of the bat, lifts a fly ball down the left side. Long run for Hernandez, and it's out of play into the seats.
That's another one of those lazy pop-ups off of the changeup. You see a lot of that. Batters out in front getting those high pop-ups. Well, even though you got a huge hitter up there in Stanton, again, you can play straight up. You don't have to play that deep. If he gets a hold of it, you're not going to catch it anyway.
Good point. And that's the thing about Estrada, because he's a fly ball pitcher. And you're right about the pop-ups. When he is on, he really messes with the timing of the hitters, and they never really get into a real good rhythm. Missed with that fastball, pulled it down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from the bottom of the 1st. Aaron Judge Had a bloop base hit to right. He was erased on the fielder's choice. Gregorius at first. Full count. Gary Sanchez, the catcher, is on deck. If Stanton can keep the inning going, there goes Gregorius. High fly ball. Pilar has a beat on it. He is calling for it, and Granderson gives way. Pilar makes the catch. No problems for Estrada in the first to give us up a bloop single and nothing more.
Take a look at the scatter report for the right-hander. Note the fastball curveball combination. This is his usage here in 2018. Last year, he was throwing more changeups, fewer curveballs. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach for the New York Yankees, said, Sonny, we got to get that curveball back up. You've got a great curveball. So he's throwing it 34% of the time this year. They're hitting $154 against that curveball. It's a deadly combination with the fastball. And he'll cut the ball, throws changeup at 11%. Last year, that changeup was over 30% of the time. So he's back to the Sonny Gray when he first came up with the Oakland A's. Fastball, curveball.
Gray first came up in 2013 with Oakland, made 10 starts, appeared in 12 games his rookie season. And there was Solarte, we mentioned over his last 11 games, he's hitting .306. Solarte had 2 more walks in the game last night. He's now walked 13 times this season, as opposed to just 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, we've watched him for a couple of years. I had a chance to watch him when he was in San Diego. I don't remember him being this patient. But Gibby's put him in that number 4 hole, and he's been very productive. Not chasing. Look at that, right off the plate, and he doesn't even bite at it.
He's a very confident hitter, whether he's batting left-handed or right-handed. He knows himself very well.
Well, if he knows a fastball's coming, let it go.
He did. Out in front of that ball and rips it into the seats. The Yankees won the opener last night 4-3. And the Blue Jays had them on the ropes in the 8th, just couldn't come up with a big hit.
They needed one more hit, I thought. After the base hit by Granderson made it 4-3, there was still just 1 out. The bases were loaded, and they couldn't come up with that last key hit to win.
Granderson had a big pinch hit RBI single in that inning when he came in to bat for the shortstop, Aledmus Diaz. And then Grichuk struck out. Maley flied out. And then the 9th inning was academic.
Yeah, anytime you have to deal with Chapman, I think they've rectified that situation tonight. They got some extra bats on that bench.
Solarte takes the breaking ball for ball 4, his 14th walk of the season, and that's the leadoff man to reach here in the second. Sonny Gray is one of 2 Yankees starters yet to give up a home run. Luis Severino, who will start on Sunday, and Gray, neither one of them have given up a long ball yet. So Gray now works out of the stretch with Solarte at first and Russell Martin batting in the 5th spot. Gray goes back to that breaking ball. You know, you mentioned last year when Rothschild first got to know Sonny Gray, he couldn't really work with him a lot because Gray didn't throw in between starts. So this year in spring training, they got to break things down a little bit, and that's when Rothschild suggested more breaking balls.
And he has a good breaking ball. That overhand curveball, there's another one, 0-2. When he first came up with Oakland as a first-round draft pick, great fastball, great curveball. Then we saw him last year, first half of the year. Started throwing more changeups, and the ball was cutting just a little bit more, slowing everything down. He looked like a totally different pitcher.
0-2. Martin out in front lifts a lazy fly ball into center. Hicks coming in, and he makes the catch. Sonny Gray came over in a trade last year, right at the trade deadline, July 31st from Oakland. He made 14 starts, and the numbers are a lot better than you might think. He actually pitched very well while pitching with New York.
Yeah, they gave up a lot. I mean, some of their top prospects to go to Oakland to pick up Gray, and they thought it would get him over the hump and get him into the World Series. They came close. ERA of 4.5 in his 14 starts, but there were some other starts where he pitched really well, just didn't get any help.
They gave up Dustin Fowler, James Caprillion, a big pitcher, right-hander, and Jorge Mateo. 3 prospects for Sonny Gray. High price. Well, here is Kendrys Morales back off the disabled list. He strained a hamstring while playing in Baltimore, running the bases.
And that's really unfortunate for Morales and the Blue Jays because he was really starting to come around. Got off to a rough start to his season, but then started driving the ball a little bit more. His timing looked really good on breaking balls. There are the numbers in his last games before the disabled list. Had a big series in Texas before the team got to Baltimore.
Hit a 3-run home run in the first inning off Cole Hamels in the series finale against the Rangers. That sparked a 4-run first inning and got him going. Hit that ball as a right-hander against Hamels, of course, and hit it into the Rangers bullpen in deep right center.
And his base hit in Baltimore, it didn't look like anything really happened. He was just jogging up the first base line and felt something. There was one pitch, I believe, to the batter after him, and he said, you know what, he advanced to second base, and they had to get Solarte in to pinch run for him.
He has never left the ball club. He has done all of his rehab while staying with the Jays. So he's gotten to hit quite a bit. Good take. You mentioned Gray's changeup last year. He kind of fell in love with it, but it was a little bit too hard. It was more like a sinking fastball than a full-blown changeup.
Remember doing that game and everybody saying he's got a new pitch. He's got a new pitch. Heads up. It's a changeup and it cuts just a little bit. It's a cut changeup. This looks more like him.
Ground ball. Go to second for 1. A little bobble at second by Gregorius, but the out is recorded. Solarte forced out at second.
That was a very slow developing play for the Yankees. They were out here earlier working on their defense. That's the third baseman, Miguel Andujar, inside for that play. And he gives Gregorius a good feed. He can't handle it. That should have been a double play. Ball on the ground like that, but the Yankees can't turn it, keep the inning alive.
The Yankees have committed 18 errors, and third base has been a real weak spot for them. They have committed 7 errors at third base, the most in the majors. Here's Kevin Pillar batting with 2 outs. Pilar hitting .324, off to a good start. We mentioned the last time Estrada started against the Yankees, he gave up a couple of home runs to Tyler Austin, but Kevin Pilar had those 3 stolen bases in the same inning and scored the winning run by stealing home.
I thought that play, that inning by Pilar really energized the ball club, don't you? I mean, after those first 2 games, it was like, okay, what's happening here? They didn't score many runs, they didn't get many hits, but Pilar being on the bases, he stole second, he stole third, and then this play right here, he's going to steal home. Big run for the Blue Jays, and they went on to win it.
Huge run for the Blue Jays, an exciting inning. Solarte hit a home run in the 8th inning off of Betances to tie it up, and then Pilar, after singling to right, stole second, third, and home. Blue Jays actually had 4 stolen bases in that inning. 2-1 to Pilar. Breaking ball for strike 2. Yeah, the Blue Jays are going to have to make an adjustment facing Gray tonight, as opposed to what they saw in the first game. He had 8 strikeouts in that first start against the Blue Jays.
Threw a lot of pitches in that game against the Blue Jays. Only 4 innings, 89 pitches.
Sanchez goes backhand and has the ball go off his glove, and that's been a concern for the Yankees. A curveball he tried to pick instead of block, and now the Blue Jays have a runner in scoring position, and Sanchez had a rough night last night with 2 pass balls.
He had a couple of pass balls, got crossed up on one of them. Here's a curveball. He wasn't really sure which he should do. Should he backhand the ball? Should he slide over and get his chest in front of it? I think anytime you can slide over, get your chest in front of it, and block it with that chest protector, you're better off than trying to backhand it.
Full count to Pilar with a runner in scoring position. The Blue Jays last night, after having gotten off to such a great start delivering clutch hits, they were 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position. But they still lead the American League with that .325 average.
Dropped it down to .325, which is still #1 over the red hot, and I mean red hot, Red Sox.
Breaking ball upstairs for ball 4. Second walk of the inning by Gray.
That was the problem that he had in Toronto, throwing a lot of pitches, and he couldn't get his breaking ball over, if you remember that game. Had trouble locating it, couldn't locate his fastball. 89 pitches in 4 innings, that's a lot.
Gray has made an effort to quicken his pace and pitch a little bit quicker. I think it's just a matter of getting into the flow of the game on a cool night. Ledmus Diaz, he is a first ball swinger. He swings at more first pitches than anybody in baseball.
Yankees know that, so they go curveball, strike #1.
4 home runs for Diaz, and he has gotten some big home runs. A game-tying home run in Cleveland in the only game they played in that 3-game series. Goes after that foul tip.
Well,
Runners will go back.
He's got the reputation, obviously, that he can hit a fastball. All 4 of his home runs have come against fastballs. So the word's getting out. They're starting to use the breaking ball just a little bit more.
He's got some pop. There's no question about that. Diaz has 2 doubles and 4 home runs. The Jays with an early opportunity here in New York with Morales at second. Pilar's at first. Fly ball into center. Right at Aaron Hicks. Another fly ball out for Sonny Gray.
older brother, Yulieski Gurriel, that he was going up to the show, and that's because Yuli was still in a game playing with the Houston Astros. But when he finally got in touch with them, Lourdes, through interpreter Josue Pele, told him, quote, "Hey, I'm playing at Yankee Stadium tomorrow." Lourdes said Yuli was a bit confused and said, "What are you talking about? What do you mean Yankee Stadium?" When Lourdes explained what was happening, he said his brother was so excited for him. Yuli tweeted earlier this afternoon, quote, "I can't believe my tag-along adventure partner, my little brother, got called up and joins me now in the show." Yuli then told Astros beat reporter Brian McTaggart, Buck, quote, "No pressure, but he hits better than me, runs better than me, and plays better than me defensively." Certainly high praise from a World Series champion.
Hey, so Yuli told me that personally in the World Series. He said, "My little brother's a better hitter than I am." I said, man, that says a lot because Yuli can really swing it. Harry Sanchez swings at the first pitch. Diaz gathers and fires. 1 pitch, 1 out.
He also has an older brother, Yulieski Gurriel. A baseball family.
Yes, their father, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., is an iconic baseball hero in Cuba. International star for many, many years. Played in the outfield, eventually played at first base, and he played some big games against Team USA in international competition. Got some big hits. Got one of his big hits in international play against Jim Abbott.
And he'll be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yep. Gurriel's mother and father will both be here at Yankee Stadium tomorrow to watch him play. Aaron Hicks, a switch hitting center fielder. Marco Estrada has surrendered just a bloop single to the Yankees so far. Only been 1 hit in the game. Changeup is on its game tonight. That one had a lot of movement down and away.
When he throws it correctly, and he does it a lot, you can tell them it's coming, and they're not going to hit it. He sells it. He's got great arm action. If you're a hitter, you always want to watch where that arm's coming off that shoulder, how that ball's coming out, and you read the arm speed. You can tell what the pitch is going to be, and he sells it like a fastball. And guys are out in front against him, and the ball's not there.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Hicks. Changeup missed downstairs. Now it's a full count. This is a veteran lineup, and they make you work. They will not chase a lot of pitches. They're not a very undisciplined team. They have a lot of patience, a lot of confidence. They'll take a lot of close pitches.
First time through also, as Hicks ends up walking. First time through, they're going to feel out Estrada, see what's working for him. How's the changeup look? That's why I think, again, his fastball is going to be important to jump ahead and to finish off hitters.
So with the 1-out walk, that'll bring Tyler Austin to the plate. We mentioned Austin had his first multi-home run game back at Rogers Center on March 31st against Estrada. Hit a home run in the 5th and another in the 7th.
The only mistakes Marco made that day, accounting for the 3 runs that he gave up in 7 innings.
Those are the only 2 home runs that Austin has hit this season. Austin is awaiting a decision on the suspension. He appealed his suspension as a result of the fight they had in Boston on April 11th. He charged the mound after Joe Kelly hit him with a pitch. He's appealed it, and they expect the decision to come down next week.
He had to charge the mound.
Absolutely.
You know,
get hit in the ribs like that intentionally after he made a hard slide into Brock Holt at second. The Red Sox took exception to that. Joe Kelly put one in his ribs.
Yeah, at about 98 miles an hour, you can't just stand there and take it. I think he had to go out there and defend himself.
I would like to see the 3rd man in rule implemented in baseball.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to hit me? It's you and I. We're going to go toe to toe.
And everybody else can't leave. Can't get between the white lines. Let them settle it.
Fly ball to right. Granderson back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Tyler Austin, a 2-run home run, his 3rd home run of the season, and they've all come off Marco Estrada.
Well, the first 2 he pulled at Rogers Center for home runs, but he's got that inside-out type of swing with a little power. Perfectly built for this ballpark. He can wait a long time, or he can get beat by a fastball, but still have enough in his swing to get it in the air and hit it to the right spot here. Watch how he stays back, uppercuts that ball to right field. It's going to land about the 2nd or 3rd row. Fastball over the middle of the plate, and that's just a fly ball in other ballparks.
This division has more hitter-friendly ballparks than any division in baseball. Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park, Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and Rogers Center. They're all good hitters' ballparks.
Great hitters' ballparks, and each of them are different. Of course, you got the Green Monster in Boston, the short porch here in New York, Camden Yards. The ball flies. Flies in Toronto also.
This is Miguel Andujar, the 3rd baseman. One of their top prospects. They like the way he swings the bat. They're a little concerned about his position defensively, where they're going to put him.
He's got extra base pop in that bat. He's had a streak of multiple extra base hits, but he hasn't seen the changeup of Marco Estrada.
First strikeout of the ball game as Estrada punches out Andujar. 2 away now. That'll bring the number 9 hitter to the plate.
Here's the changeup. Watch him get out on that front foot, and the ball's still not there. Comes up empty.
2 away. Torres, he had an RBI single in a 2-run 2nd inning rally for the Yankees. He just flared a ball over the shortstop's head into left field. Drove in the 2nd run of the game. And he's behind quickly 0-2.
Not a lot of pop or extra base power in that bat, so the outfielders are going to shorten up just a little bit. Take away that line drive base hit.
Goes after that high fastball. That's the book on Torres. Keep the ball up. Like you said, he doesn't have much power, so you want to hit it in the air. Have him hit it in the outfield, then chances are it's going to be a catchable ball.
Yeah, keep it in the big part of the ballpark. He was waiting for that one. These are the kind of hitters that if you have a good fastball, where you can place your fastball, it's called knocking the bat right out of their hand. Just power it up or up and in, and watch a lot of fly balls.
The curveball in the dirt. A ball and 2 strikes. Yankees break out on top here in the bottom of the 2nd. Aaron Hicks drew a 1-out walk, and then Tyler Austin hit his 3rd home run of the season. A right field shot, a 2-run home run.
There you go. That's a good pitch right there. You can see he was defensive on that fastball in the inner half. You can throw it again, or you can throw it just above his hands.
Popped out with a screen and out of play. Torres is putting up quite a fight here. He started at 3rd base last night. He is at 2nd base to start this ball game. Just can't quite get the head out.
Marco reached back for a little something extra there. He wanted the punch out. 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and Torres just fouls it off.
Up and away for ball 2. Another fastball upstairs.
Try one inside again. He looked very defensive on that fastball that he threw inside to him.
Another foul back. 11 pitches in this at bat, and Torres is not going quietly. 7 foul balls. Estrada has now thrown 48 pitches with 2 outs in the second. Gardner, the leadoff man, is on deck. Right field. An extended at bat. Estrada finally retires Torres. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. will get his first big league at bat in Yankee Stadium against Sonny Gray.
Enter the code MBJ0121 to earn My Blue Jays points just for watching tonight's broadcast. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage. Your code must be entered by 4 a.m. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. Blue Jay fans are going to witness a memorable moment here at Yankee Stadium. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. getting his first big league at bat against Sonny Gray. Picks the first pitch up and away.
Had a chance to watch him in spring training, a few games. He can hit. I think that's his best attribute as a player, his ability to handle the bat.
The Blue Jays signed him to a 7-year, $22 million contract in November of 2016. Last year in spring training, he had a hamstring injury, really hampered his development.
And he was coming off some inactivity, if you will. He spent a lot of time in Haiti and Panama just practicing. He couldn't play any games.
He defected during the Caribbean World Series in February of 2016. He and his brother both defected together. They went to Haiti and sought asylum there, and then eventually got their passports. But he would go back and forth between Haiti and Panama just to work out, but he never played for about a year.
Yeah, and it showed in spring training last year. Looked very raw. Spent the whole offseason working out with Kendrys Morales. This past offseason, he was a different player this year.
Fly ball to center field. Hicks is there. He's been busy early in this ball game. That's the 4th fly ball he has caught so far. So Gurriel is a big leaguer. He's got an AB. And a memorable one. He'll put Sonny Gray in his book as the first major league pitcher he faced.
High five. He stung that ball to center field. Weighted back nicely on that off-speed pitch.
Curtis Granderson, he flied out to center field his first time up. Breaking ball off the plate outside. A little bit of movement on that fastball, brought it back over the inside corner.
They wanted to speed him up just a little bit. Sonny Gray taking a lot of time in between pitches, really overthinking things. They're saying, hey, let's get the ball, let's throw it and try and be a little bit more aggressive. I think so far so good when nobody's on base. Once that first batter reached in the 2nd inning, everything started to slow down again for him.
And just think about it, as a pitching coach and a manager, you want your starter to work quickly. Keep everybody behind you engaged.
Yeah, so do the guys out in the field. It's cold. You want to be standing around a long time.
Two-2 pitch to Granderson. Took another shot with that fastball and missed. Curtis played 4 seasons with the Yankees, and he had some terrific years here. He hit 41 home runs in 11, 43 in 12. Swinging a drive down the right side, but that's going to be foul, and he broke his bat.
Broke his bat. His swing really fits in this stadium. He's right on top of the plate. He can pull anybody if he wants to. That's how quick he is, especially inside. And he's a fly ball type of hitter. Short porch in right field. It's only 314 down the right field line. You can see how he hit so many home runs. That is not very far from home plate.
Another great at bat. Granderson walks. 3rd walk issued so far by Gray. The Pitch Tracker is brought to you by Coors Light, official beer of Major League Baseball. Well, the Blue Jays have had their share of base runners already in this ball game. And Gray, his pitch count has jumped up quickly. He's up to 46 pitches already. Teoscar Hernandez, the left fielder. Curtis has 1 stolen base attempt, and it came against the Yankees, and it's the only time Gary Sanchez has thrown out a base runner this season.
And it had to be a perfect throw too to get him right on the bag. Gary Sanchez just 1 for 7 this year throwing out base runners. I don't think he's going to be going, not with where we are in the lineup. There was some talk over the last couple of days after it was known that Kendrys Morales was going to be coming off the disabled list, and there was some talk, well, maybe Hernandez gets sent down. No way. Not the way he has been playing for the Blue Jays.
Deep drive to left field. Gardner's back. Get up, ball. Get up. Get out of here. Gone. Another extra base hit, a 2-run home run for Teoscar Hernandez, his 2nd home run of the season, and with 1 swing of the bat, this game is all tied up.
That's exactly what I mean. Not the way he has been swinging the bat and what he has brought offensively and defensively for the Blue Jays. He's changed his swing a little bit since we saw him for the first time last year. He's a little bit more square towards the pitcher. He rocked backs, has a little bit of a leg kick, and he's got some power. He's really got some bat speed when that bat comes through the strike zone. It's 399 out there. And he
grounds up.
And he hit it over the 399 sign into the bullpen of the Blue Jays. Watch how he goes and gets this inside fastball. Pulls the hands in, gets plenty of wood on it. That's impressive.
That bat flies through the hitting zone. 2 home runs, 8 RBIs for Hernandez, and just 26 at bats. John Gibbons, I'm going to make sure he didn't go anywhere. Well, the Blue Jays did not hit a home run last night. First time in a road game they hadn't homered. Well, they got one already tonight. But look at the numbers for Hernandez over his last 3 games. He's swinging a great bat right now. Solarte hit it right to Andujar, who throws him out. The inning is over. But Sonny Gray finally gives up a home run. The first home run he's surrendered this season. And it's to Teoscar Hernandez, a 2-run shot. This is a no-doubter. Hernandez with a mighty swing catches the fastball right on the barrel and has tied it up with a 2-run shot.
Boston to bring it back home and keep their Cup dreams alive. Leafs, Bruins, Game 5 tomorrow on Sportsnet and CBC. Puck drops 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time.
Well, the Leafs need a big effort, obviously, to keep the series alive, and have to do it on the road. So we wish them all the best. Brett Gardner will lead things off. He flew out to center field his only time up. 2-2 ball game. There's a strike, as you would imagine. 4 runs in the game, and they've all scored on home runs.
Speaking of home runs for the Yankees.
There's another weak pop-up. Diaz gets over, makes the catch near third base.
Speaking of home runs, here comes a home run hitter right now. He now has 61 home runs. He had his 61st in last night's game. That's the fastest to that number. Did it in 199 games in his career. Faster than Mark McGwire, Rudy York, and Ryan Howard up there. Ryan Howard, it took him 212 games to hit 61 home runs. Pretty impressive. I think he's going to hit a few more before he's finished.
I'll go out on a limb, Pat. 200th career game for Aaron Judge. You look at him as a pitcher standing just 60 feet away and say, okay, where can I pitch this guy?
I think up. I think that's where you could start, up. But what we have seen over the last couple of years, how patient he is at the plate. I think he understands the strike zone so much better than everybody thought when he first came into the league.
There's a good fastball, just 89 miles an hour, and I think that's a beautiful pitch for Estrada. You know, everybody gets so enamored with radar gun readings, and last night we saw Chapman throw 101. But it's all about timing, location, and how you set up your fastball.
Well,
beat him with another one.
If you've got the great changeup like he has, you know, you don't have to throw 95 to get outs. Keep the timing off of those hitters. Place the fastball where you need to, and you will get your share of strikeouts.
Strike three called. Russell Martin did a good job of receiving that little fastball. Presented it very well. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Been a tough start for Logan Morrison, but the friendly surroundings of Tropicana Field have brought out the best.
The familiarity of Tropicana Field. Hit 38 home runs for them last year. He had a start like that a couple of years ago, but got it going.
When they go about 82 at bats without driving in a run. Finally drove one in at Rogers Center. Didi Gregorius takes a couple of strikes, fastballs, both of them. Sounds like the Yankees coaching staff barking at the umpire. Josh Bart is a bench coach for Aaron Boone.
Pretty good looking pitches right where you want them, at the knees. The Blue Jays had caught Didi Gregorius looking for his changeup.
And that was a changeup looped into center. That's going to drop. So the Yankees have 3 hits now. 2 of them have been bloop pop-ups that have dropped safely for singles.
Yeah, we saw too much of that in last night's game against Aaron Sanchez. That one inning when they scored a run, they had 3 really weak balls. They found the outfield. 2 strikes. He throws him a great changeup, fools him way out in front, but nothing the Blue Jays can do defensively. Watch how he is fooled. Just throws his bat, waves it at the baseball, and he's going to get a hit.
You get hits like that when you're hot, and Didi is hot. When you hit him hard, you get extra base hits, and when you hit him soft, you get singles. Giancarlo Stanton swings and misses the first pitch. He flied out to you in the bottom of the first inning, flied out to center.
He was geared up for that fastball.
Driven to right, and this one's going to go. Stanton hits an opposite field a home run, his 4th career home run against Estrada, and the Yankees have retaken the lead. Boy, that's the beauty of this ballpark. If you're a Yankee hitter, you reach out and poke it to the seats in right.
Yeah, if you've got that kind of power, and that's why I think Stanton is going to be, when it's all said and done, one of the better home run hitters in all of baseball playing in this ballpark. He doesn't need to really square it up or hit it hard. Just get it in the right spot. They wanted that ball up above his hands. It was down. Watch where Russell wants it, and watch where it ends up. It's down, so he just reaches out, and that's a fly ball for a home run.
Yeah, that's a great illustration of how a pitcher missed his spots. Sanchez goes after the first pitch fastball. Russell presented that high target for Estrada, and then Marco missed downstairs, and Stanton squared it up. the start of this ball game, we talked about how difficult this lineup was for Marco, and that coming in, they had hit 16 home runs, the 9-man lineup. Well, they've got 2 more tonight. And they both gone to right
field, the other way. Sanchez is getting a little long in his swing. I think he wants to do something dramatic against Marco. So if you're reading what he's trying to do, this is where you want to really slow one down on him.
The home run that Stanton hit snapped a streak of 50 straight at bats without homering. It had been a drought for him. That home run is number 4 on the season, 2 RBIs. Now he has 12.
Numbers wise, for Stanton, everybody's making such a big deal about him coming to New York and getting off to a bad start. Number wise, he's about the same as where he was last year at this time. He had 4 home runs and 9 RBIs last year. He now has 4 home runs and 12 RBIs. So don't worry.
What, the Yankee fans, they never worry. They're very confident, very relaxed. Let a guy settle in, don't put too much pressure on him. Stanton, he's got enough experience to handle it. Sanchez strikes out. The high fastball gets a couple of strikeouts in the inning, but another 2-run home run. This one off the bat of Giancarlo Stanton, and New York has taken a 4-2 lead.
Camps across the country. Learn techniques from former Blue Jays, including Hall of Famer Roberto Alomar, Lloyd Mosby, Jesse Barfield, and Dwayne Ward. Register now at bluejays.com/camps.
Great opportunity for you to get some great instruction from some of the best instructors on the super camps by the Blue Jays, so make sure you check that all out. Well, the Yankees didn't waste any time getting the lead back. It's 4-2 New York as we start here in the top of the 4th. For the Blue Jays, it'll be 5, 6, and 7 in their lineup. Martin, Morales, and Pilar. This place has got a little buzz going right now. Nothing but home runs so far in this game, providing all the offense.
That's what usually happens when these teams get together. Lots of power. The Yankees with all those home runs in their lineup. Last season leading the American League in home runs. They've added Stanton. Blue Jays, of course, they'll hit their share of home runs. I watch them hit this year, though, and I see better approaches at the plate. And when you have better approaches, I think you're going to hit for a higher average. You're going to come up with some clutch hits, and that's what we've seen so far.
Russell Martin spent 2 years here in New York playing for the Yankees in 2011 and 2012. He was an all-star his first season with New York. He had 18 home runs and drove in 65 runs. He had 21 home runs in his second year with the Yankees. Drives this one to the alley. Gardner on the run. He's not going to get it. Up against the wall. Russell Martin is headed for second. He jumped on that pitch and drove it all the way to the wall in left center. For Russell, that's his first double of the season, the leadoff double here in the fourth.
He's got a couple of home runs this season. He got himself into a great fastball count. Sonny Gray throws him a belt-tie fastball. He times that thing up beautifully. Gets all of it to left field. Past Gardner for extra bases. Good start for the Jays here in the fourth.
Kendrys Morales hit into a fielder's choice back into second. The Yankees playing Morales into shift. Gregorius directly behind the base at second. That's Torres out in shallow right field, the second baseman. Gray's using more fastballs tonight than we have seen in the past, and you mentioned it, he was concerned about changing his approach, especially in this start. He wanted to be a little quicker in between pitches.
That ball looked like it had a little cut to it, trying to get it in on Kendrys. Another fastball count for the Jays.
Ball is hit down the left field line, slicing away from Gardner, and that's a fair ball. Martin will come in to score on the ground rule double by Kendrys Morales, and he really crossed up the defense. That's his first double of the season. Back-to-back doubles off Gray here in the fourth.
Well, if you play him the pull, you can't throw sinkers away. Good hitters are just going to hit that ball where it's pitched. And he just slices it down the left field line right on the chalk and out of play for another RBI.
7 RBIs now for Morales. Kevin Pillar, he drew a walk his first time up. I don't think in this game you get a sense that getting him over is important right now.
Scoring.
Scoring is more important.
Scoring is more important.
Don't sacrifice an out. I think there's going to be a lot of runs scored tonight. Just have a good at bat. There's a good at bat. Base hit to left field. Morales is going to be stopped at third as Pillar delivers a base hit. Kevin had his hit streak snapped last night at 9 games, and he started a new one. He's been on base both times he's come to the plate. 3 straight hits by the Blue Jays, and that's going to bring the pitching coach Larry Rothschild out. Here's a look at the Pillar base hit.
Missing with his fastball out over the plate with not much on it either. Pretty straight. Yeah, and right now the Blue Jays are teeing off on Yankee starter Sonny Gray.
Double single against Gray here in the fourth.
Some hard hit balls the last 2 innings by the Blue Jays. Smoke hit a ball hard right at the second baseman who was in short right field. Solarte hit a ball hard right at the third baseman. And now you open up the fourth inning with 3 straight base hits.
Boy, getting Morales back in the lineup is a real benefit. Switch hitters, got power, he's got experience, and he also makes you think about what you're doing as you see Domingo Germán loosening up for New York. Early action for the Yankees in their bullpen.
I think the Jays know that to win in the American League East, you have to pitch, yeah, but you got to score runs, because the lineups are so deep in the American League East. Getting Morales back helps. Getting Josh Donaldson back would really help.
Blue Jays have now scored 109 runs this season. Second in the American League. And that's one thing John was concerned about. Lack of offense last year, but they have gotten off to a good start. Ledmus Diaz, the shortstop, pulls it sharply foul past third base. He's getting a steady diet of breaking balls from Gray.
He should just go up there and just look for it. Till you get the 2 strikes, just look for that overhand curveball.
Pilar's at first. Morales is at third. Nobody out here in the fourth. He got a fastball in a tough spot. Got a piece of it.
Now you have to battle. You got that runner sitting out there at third base. Got to make contact.
Popped it up on the infield. Andujar, the third baseman, staggers underneath it, but stayed with it to make the catch. That's the first out of the inning.
Did not look real sure of himself coming in on that pop-up. It's a windy night. Ball looks like it took off on him just a little bit, but he squeezes it for the out. I'm out this now for Gurriel.
Morales is at third. Pilar's at first. Gurriel flying out to center field, his first time up. Ball gets away from Sanchez, and Pilar will move up. That erases the possibility of a ground ball double play. Morales stays put at third.
Probably go as a wild pitch because it was bounced, but that ball can be blocked. It looked like Sanchez came up a little bit too early. Watch him as he gets ready. The ball's in the dirt. He comes up. He doesn't stay down and try and block it with his chest protector or his body.
That has been a big concern for the Yankees. One and 0 to Gurriel. Big swing and a miss. Morales at third base has taken Gurriel under his wing. They spent a lot of time this past offseason in Miami working out together. Morales always looking out for the youngster. 1-1. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Morales is in to score. Here comes Pilar, and just like that, Gurriel gets his first big league hit, and wouldn't you know it, he drives in Morales for his first big league RBI.
Morales is the guy who's basically teaching him the American way, how they're going to do it, and he gets himself a base hit, drives him in. That's Josue right there, who's very friendly with the family. Josue is going to take that ball and put it away. Fastball, base hit. Told you this kid could hit. That'll cash 2 runs for the Blue Jays, and they take the lead.
He had 11 RBIs in 12 games in the minor leagues to start the season, and now he's got a pair of ribbies here with the Blue Jays. What a memorable moment for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And you can bet his brother Yuli with the Astros is keeping an eye on the box score. Didn't waste any time getting his first big league hit.
He can hit. If his brother says he's a better hitter than him, then the Blue Jays might have something special. I mean, his bat went right to that baseball with some quickness.
He's got a very quick bat. There's no question about that. And the improvement from last spring to this spring was dramatic.
In all phases of the game, if you talk to the Blue Jay coaches, fielding, running, throwing, hitting.
You mentioned Josue Pele. He is the translator for the Blue Jays. And he knew the older brother, Yuniesky Gurriel, from the time that Gurriel played in Montreal in Quebec.
Teammates, right? Teammates together. And he remembers young Lourdes. He was there when the Blue Jays were scouting him. That's a big league swing right there.
How ironic is it that Morales, Gurriel's mentor, scores on his first big league base hit? Granderson takes a close one for ball 4, and that might be it for Sonny Gray. Here comes Boone, and that's going to be it.
They had a short night last night from CC Sabathia, 4 1/3 innings from their starter, and a very short night tonight for Sonny Gray. That bullpen's going to get a workout.
4 walks, a home run, and Gray leaves, and the crowd letting him hear about it. So Gray is out of the ball game. The Blue Jays have the lead. Domingo Germán coming into the game, and Lourdes Gurriel has his first big league hit. Domingo Germán making his 3rd appearance as Sonny Gray is knocked out here in the 4th inning.
Started with the Marlins organization. He was traded to the Yankees, part of that Martin Prado, David Phelps trade back in December of 2014. Yankees had to wait on him. He missed all of 2015 with Tommy John surgery. He's got a good arm, a very good fastball, changeup, and a slurvy type of curveball. Pitching some big innings now as a long man out of the bullpen for Aaron Boone and the Yankees.
They're going to need some innings from him. Here is Teoscar Hernandez, who homered his last time up. Snap throw to second, and Gurriel is back easily.
Well, we've already seen a base hit by Lourdes Gurriel for a couple of RBIs. Here's some more RBIs from a young hitter. See how he pulled his hands in? That's how you hit an inside pitch right there and get the barrel of the bat on the baseball and keep it fair, driving it into the bullpen. That's 399 feet in left center field.
Had a big game on Wednesday. He went 4 for 5, his first career 4-hit game. He hit his first home run of the season. He also contributed with his first big league triple. Good take. That's the biggest thing that I have noticed from Hernandez. When we first saw him, with the Astros. He was a wild swinger. He's totally gotten rid of that.
I think he's understanding who he is right now as a hitter. Says I can see the ball a little bit better. Remember, he came up with a close stance. He's opened up now. He can see the baseball.
Another walk, and that will load the bases. Five walks in the game issued by the Yankees. Blue Jays really need to kick the door wide open here.
That's right. You can't settle for 1 or 2. Keep it rolling. Get way ahead.
Blue Jays have a 5-4 lead. Justin Smoak hit a grand slam against the Yankees back at Rogers Center. His other grand slam came right here against Devon Nova. He's sizing things up right now.
Yeah, right now he's getting a good feel for what Herman has. Just 1 out. Now it's 2-0. You can look for 1 pitch in your happy zone.
Oh, he got a good pitch and got under it. Skies it to the outfield. Hicks makes the call, catches it, and Smoak had a good swing but got underneath it.
He got himself into a fastball count. He got a fastball and missed it.
So Solarte will come to the plate, the 9th Blue Jay to bat this inning. Jays have scored 3 runs this inning. First pitch swinging. Fly ball to left. Gardner makes the catch. The inning is over, but a big inning for the Blue Jays in the 4th. 3 runs for the Blue Jays, capped off by the first big league hit for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He drives in a pair with his first 2 Major League RBIs.
He had ever played in, and that includes his days with Buffalo. In the 7th inning, he told me he actually had to come back to the clubhouse to put a second long sleeve shirt on under his jersey. Pilar said in his 8th inning, facing David Robertson with the bases loaded, he said it was no contest. He couldn't feel his hands. Quote, "I felt like a snowman, a popsicle standing out there." He did tell me, though, that he plans on being a little bit more prepared this evening. And Buck, I don't know if you feel it. I feel like it's colder tonight than it was last night.
I agree with you 100%, Hazel. It is colder, and you're a little bit more exposed to the elements than we are. We are in the booth, but yeah, it's cool.
The batters tonight don't think so.
No.
They're
9
hot.
runs on 9 hits. Ball's flying all over the yard.
They are hot tonight. Maybe they got those bats sitting on a heater now in the back rack.
Lourdes Gurriel. You can see the temperature has dropped dramatically. At the start of the game, it was 7. It's down to 2 now. Line drive into center. Pilar is not going to get it. Gets over and cuts it off as Hicks has a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 4th.
Hit a home run with any project this season. Home Hardware, proud sponsor of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Blue Jays Yankees here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Game 2 of a 4-game series. The Blue Jays will just stop here for 4 games, fly back to Toronto and play the Red Sox on Tuesday night. Tyler Austin homered his last time up. An opposite field 2-run home run. His 3rd home run of the season, and all 3 home runs have been hit off Marco Estrada.
5 of those RBIs, of those 9 RBIs. That's a good changeup. Marco is an extreme fly ball pitcher in these situations here. You'd love to see a ground ball after that leadoff single. Keep the ball down, and you got a chance.
Ground ball. Solarte at 3rd. Quickly to 2nd for 1. Nice turn at 2nd by Gurriel. What a job. What an arm. Gurriel hung in there with the runner Hicks bearing down on him in 2nd. And he never shied away. Made a terrific throw.
Stayed right in there and showed why the Blue Jays think so much of him. Watch how he gets rid of this ball, how quickly, and on a line over to first base for the double play. Takes him out, but he still has enough on it to make the out. Ledmus Diaz was telling us today, so excited to play with another Cuban at second base. This is the 2nd time that the double play combination for the Blue Jays are 2 Cubans.
2 native-born Cubans starting in the middle of the infield at shortstop in the 2nd. Previous time it was Yunel Escobar and Adeiny Echeverria who started. Escobar played short, Echeverria played 2nd.
September of 2012.
High fly ball deep to right field, and that ball is gone. Miguel Andujar with his 2nd big league home run, 3rd of the night by New York. Double play was huge ahead of that swing by Andujar.
You know, if Granderson, Curtis could have gotten back there a little quicker. I'm not saying he should have. I'm saying if he could have, that ball looked like it just landed in the first row, and that wall is not that tall in the outfield. If he could have got there, maybe he could have robbed Andujar of this ball. It's not that deep in right field. All the home runs for the Yankees have been fly balls to right.
So much for the hitters being affected by the cold night. It's a 5-5 game. Ronald Torres rips it past Solarte down the left field line. He's around first, headed for 2nd. Torres with a 2-out double.
Been a little bit of a thorn in the side of the Yankees for the Yankees these first 2 games. He had a single and an RBI in yesterday's game. He walked and scored in yesterday's game also. Now he's got an extra base hit after the home run by Andujar. Torres gets himself into scoring position with 2 outs.
Back to the top of the order. Gardner has popped out both times he's come to the plate. Oh, starting to loosen up. Sun Won Oh without a sweatshirt on his cool night in New York. Gardner takes a first pitch strike. 5-5 ball game. Strike 2 with a changeup. Outside, 1-2.
3 change-ups in a row.
Estrada's now thrown 85 pitches. Sonny Gray came out of the ball game having thrown just 3 1/3. So both clubs are going to get deep into their bullpens tonight. Fly ball, not that deep. Granderson coming over from right will get there, and that ends the inning. But the Yankees tied it up. A solo home run by Miguel Andujar has 5-5 as we head to the 5th. Time now for a Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Joe Siddle in the Samsung broadcast studio. Judge homered in last night's game, and we thought we'd show you how 2 different sluggers approach things differently.
They're about the same size. Aaron Judge with an open stance on your left there. Eyes, both of them on the pitcher. Giancarlo Stanton more of a closed stance and comes down through the baseball. Judge has a little bit more of an uppercut with that open stance. He has more of a downward slashing motion. Stanton with that closed stance. Both of them have outstanding power. But it's really interesting to see the 2 different types of swings, and they both get the same results.
It was really interesting when you mentioned Stanton. His swing is a little bit more down than Judge's, of course, and that kind of throws water all over the launch angle theory. Because Stanton took a nice swing at that ball down and hit it out of the ballpark to right. He's got a very abbreviated swing.
Yeah, it's closed, and it looks like he closes himself off. But I think he's so powerful. He's got great power the other way. And he'll turn on balls, slow breaking balls, where he can speed up his bat and catch it out in front and hit monster moonshots to left field. I think when you look at those 2 guys, it shows you there's no one way of hitting a baseball.
I think that's the key to it. You can't teach every hitter to hit the same way. They will find a comfort level in their stance, their approach, the hand position, where they're standing in the batter's box. Everybody's different. Of course, both of them fill up the batter's box.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
6'6" and 6'7".
That's a good starting point right there. You know, you can miss hit balls and still hit them out of the ballpark when you're that big.
Martin gets a piece of it to stay alive. This is Domingo Germán, who took over for Sonny Gray with 1 out in the 4th. He walked the first batter he faced. Teoscar Hernandez had loaded the bases, and then got Smoke and Solarte to end the inning. That goes off the shin guard of Sanchez. He's having a rough night again tonight.
The 2018 Civic. When it leads off, it leads for good. Honda, proud fan since 1977 and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, there are some blossoms around Yankee Stadium despite the cold weather. But it's supposed to be spring.
Tomorrow.
So Martin with a leadoff walk. You're right, it is tomorrow.
Tomorrow it'll be nicer.
Going to warm up to what, 40? Morales takes a first pitch strike. Kendrick had a double down the left field line, drove in Martin.
This is where the Blue Jays started last inning when they batted around. Double by Russell, double by Morales. There you go.
Poke it that way. Right through the shift for Morales. That's a thing of beauty.
We saw him do that a couple of times in those exhibition games in Montreal. The Cardinals were over shifting on him. He shot a couple of balls the other way. And he's saying, hey, I can handle the bat. And if you're going to over shift me, I'm going to take what you give me. Watch how he slows his swing down and just pokes it the other way. It's not hit that hard. Slow things down. Let that ball get a little deep. And just hit a soft grounder to the left side.
Morales had a base hit to left field against the Rangers down in Arlington in his second at bat after he did a 3-run home run off Cole Hamels. Kevin Pillar with 2 on and nobody out. Pillar ripped a base hit to left field. His last time up, he has walked and singled.
We mentioned how the Yankees had to get into the bullpen early yesterday. They used 4 relievers. They're only carrying 7. Sonny Gray, 3 1/3 innings tonight, so Aaron Boone's going to have to go to his bullpen. This is where you take advantage of it right here, this middle relief. You've got to score some runs.
Well, you'd like to get deeper into that bullpen. There are 2 more games after this one in this series, and the more innings you make the Yankees pen pitch, the better off you'll be. Kevin Pillar has been very clutch this season, like most of his teammates.
Germán's got a pretty good looking breaking ball. 0-2 now. He might flip one of those things up there.
Another hard breaking ball, and Pillar strikes out. That's the first strikeout registered by the Yankees in this game.
Scouting report on him is he's got a great changeup. Oh, that ball looked like it really took a dive right at the end.
Aledmys Diaz is 0 for 2 so far. 95 fouled straight back. Remember in last night's game, Gary Sanchez got crossed up with CC Sabathia and was charged with 2 pass balls. So he wants to make sure that doesn't happen in this situation here.
Yeah, and CeCe was saying after the game, said I should have called him out there to make sure we were working on the same page.
Well, you can see Sanchez has that quarterback style scouting report on his left wrist. Just checked it out. See what the next pitch will be.
Breaking ball.
There you see Sanchez playing Tom Brady. Okay, what's next? Popped into the seats. You know, there's so much information these ball players have to deal with now. We have seen it in this game. Stanton and Wright's got a cheat sheet in his back pocket to help him position himself on defense. Sanchez has the cheat sheet on his forearm. He'll check it out.
How to pitch these guys, what pitch to go to in big situations, and here he's going to call timeout and go through the signs again. I don't think he was real sure that Herman had the sign that he put down. So he did the right thing, calling timeout.
Herman shook to this pitch. Well, he's got a good arm, 96, but well outside. When you have doubts as a catcher, you give a pitcher a sign and you think, I wonder if he really knows what pitch I called.
That's what it looked like, didn't it? That's why he called timeout. He just wanted to be sure that he's not going to get crossed up again.
Ball gets away from Sanchez. Runners move up. That is a result of indecision, too, by Sanchez. He wasn't really sure that Herman is going to throw the right pitch, and he's just late. Now they're going to have another mound visit.
Well, that's going to be down to 3. They called another one. Watch how he's fighting it, how he's sitting back. He's not really in good position to block that ball.
No, and that's what happens when you've got some doubts and reservations. If as a catcher, you're very tentative in your setup. Another pass ball charge to Sanchez. That's his 4th of the season. And that ball squirts away from him as Diaz walks. So Gurriel will bat, and his last time up, he got his first big league hit, drove in a pair.
Couple in scoring position. Takes that fastball from Sonny Gray and bangs it right back through the middle. First big league hit, first 2 RBIs for the young second baseman. He's enjoying that. The weight is lifted off the shoulder. Get that first big league hit out of the way early.
He gave the Blue Jays the lead with those 2 RBIs. He's got a chance to do it again. Goes after that first pitch. Martin started things off. He drew a leadoff walk. Morales singled through the left side of the infield. He's at second, and now Diaz has walked. Blue Jays have the bases loaded. It's a 5-5 game. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in his first big league game.
Yeah, and this is hard, too, for a young hitter facing a guy you're not really sure of or what he throws. Good hitters seem to find a way, though.
Oh, and 2. Base hit through the right side. Martin's in to score. They'll stop Morales at third. What a debut for Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Yeah, what did I say? Good hitters seem to find a way, right? He's 0-2. They try to throw a fastball by him. He cuts his swing down and still makes solid contact and hitting the ball through the right side. Watch this. That's a sign of a good hitter. That's an 0-2 approach at the plate. He still has enough bat speed to catch up to that ball, shoot it to right field. There's another RBI.
Beautiful swing for Gurriel. He's 2 for 3 with 3 ribbies in his first big league game.
Another mound visit for the Yankees as the pitching coach came out to have something to say. They got 2 left.
They have 2 left indeed. And we're in the 5th inning. But the confusion between Sanchez and Herman has created problems in this inning. There have been a couple of walks, 2 hits, and now Granderson can bust it wide open. Interesting pitch there. Granderson hasn't swung at a first pitch all season long, and they throw him a breaking ball
that he has not been able to get over yet.
He's not close right now. And Granderson is the right man to have at the plate. He will make you throw a strike.
He'll take pitches, make you work. No place to put him. Got to come into him right now, don't you? 2-0, bases loaded.
More indecision between the pitcher and the catcher. 2-0. Nine career grand slams, most recently Wednesday at Rogers Center.
You see Curtis is upset with himself, swinging at that 2-1 pitch.
Put the ball in play here.
He's going to try. He's choking up now with 2 strikes.
Herman strikes him out. Second strikeout of the inning. Second strikeout of the ball game for New York.
Change up. It's firm. That one was 88 miles an hour. It's firm, but he got a little bit of a dip at the end.
Teoscar Hernandez is 1 for 2 with a homer. Boy, there's a lot of problems going on between the pitcher and catcher.
Yeah. Just communicating what they want to do now with a runner at second base. Sanchez is in that defensive position behind the plate. You can see it.
Yeah, he's back on his heels for sure. He has been charged with 4 pass balls in the last 3 games. And there have been 2 wild pitches get past him. Four career home runs against New York. Outside. The home run that Hernandez hit in the 3rd was his 10th home run as a Blue Jay since last September. Only Josh Donaldson has hit more over that time frame. Donaldson has 11. Good take.
Good take. 2-1. He tried to throw that changeup again. He threw it 2-1 to Granderson. So Teoscar was on deck and he was paying attention.
3 balls and a strike, 2 outs. Blue Jays have taken the lead here in the 5th. Kendrys Morales singled, his second hit. Diaz walked. Gurriel had an RBI single. Bases loaded. They'll be moving on the pitch. There are 2 away. Ball 4. He walked to. So the Yankees walk in a run, and the Blue Jays now have a 2-run lead.
Telling you, what an at-bat for Teoscar Hernandez. Last year, he would have swung at that. A little bit too anxious. This time, he takes the walk, gets an RBI. And now, Justin Smoke has a second chance now with the bases loaded against Herman.
Adam Warren starts to loosen up for the Yankees. 8 walks in the game for the Blue Jays, the most they've received this season. Smoke had the bases loaded his last time up in the 4th and popped out to center.
On a 2-0 pitch right there, and now he's got a chance to get back at him.
Herman has thrown 44 pitches, 21 balls and 23 strikes. Smoke is 0 for 3. Of course, he hit the big grand slam against David Robertson at Rogers Center in the season opening series. Rolls over on that inside pitch.
Yeah, he's not giving in. He's not challenging him with the fastball. That was another changeup. At 87 miles an hour, had Smokey out in front.
Smoke strikes out. Herman strikes out the side, but he also walked 3 and gives up 2 more runs. The Blue Jays have a 7-5 lead. Gurriel's having a big major league debut. In this game, struck out his last time up. He homered in last night's game. So when you go back to last season, Judge is the leader against the Blue Jays with 11 home runs over the past 2 seasons. Wellington Castillo, formerly the Orioles, has 7. Bryan Buxton with 5. Corey Dickerson's now with the Pirates, and Andy Ramirez, they all have 5 against the Blue Jays. Judge had a big season last year with 10 home runs.
To put that in perspective, those 11 home runs have come in 29 games. 101 at-bats. 11 homers, 23 RBIs. He's also struck out 44 times against the Blue Jays in his career.
Marco Estrada pitching with a 2-run lead. That 87-mile-an-hour fastball beat Judge upstairs.
You got to figure out a way right here to get this guy. You go fastball one more time up. Looks like it. Russell's really got to reach high to get that ball up above Judge's swing plane.
Fly ball, not deep. Pilar now coming in. Judge is retired. One away.
Hit a home run with any project this season. Home Hardware, proud sponsor of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Little baseball action outside of Yankee Stadium, right next door. Done a nice job with this complex. That's where the former Yankee Stadium was. They have made it a multiple sports complex, if you will. D.D. Gregorius takes the first pitch. Strike. Gregorius is 1 for 2 so far tonight.
Fooled both times on changeups. So they go fastball. He got on the first time on a fielder's choice, but he was out in front of the changeup. Then he dropped an 0-2 changeup into center field for that base hit. He's just a good hitter. And I think he's getting better all the time.
Upstairs again.
The Yankee scouts saw something in D.D. Gregorius when he was a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks and traded for him. Said, I think this guy can be an everyday player. I think he can take over for Derek Jeter. He's going to turn into a good player. And he has.
Foul tip. Martin holds on for the strikeout. 2 away here in the 5th. That's only the 5th time Gregorius has struck out this season.
Change up. Foul tip. Russell holds on to it. That ball had some dip to it.
Prior to that strikeout, Gregorius had more home runs than strikeouts. The only player in the majors to accomplish that. Now he's even at 5-5. Giancarlo Stanton, a homer to right field back in the 3rd. Pulls it on the ground. Solarte has it in time, and Estrada is through 5 innings. The Blue Jays have a 7-5 lead, trying to even the series at a game apiece.
First 20,000 fans will receive a plaid raglan shirt. Then sit back and listen to the pregame performance by Canada's top country duo, High Valley, and the WestJet flight deck. For tickets, visit bluejays.com. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. Use one of those long sleeve shirts myself right now.
As long as it comes with a heater.
5 in the books here at Yankee Stadium, and the Blue Jays enjoying a 7-5 lead. They'll face a new pitcher. The right-hander Adam Warren will take over for Domingo Germán.
Yeah, this is the veteran Adam Warren. He started with the Yankees, was traded over to the Cubs, and then came back to the Yankees. He was originally a draft pick in 2009 by New York in the 4th round. He has started early in his career. Now he's a long man out of that pen. He's got good stuff. Fastball, curveball, little slider, little change. That shows you his background as a starter. He can give you multiple innings.
The Blue Jays have drawn 8 walks tonight. That makes it 7 or more walks in 3 of the last 4 games. There's a high, deep drive, and this one's going to go. Get up, ball, get up, get out of here, gone. And there was Solarte with his 5th home run of the season. The Blue Jays didn't homer last night for the first time on the road, and they have made up for it tonight.
He shows great patience at the plate. That first pitch was an overhand curveball for strike 1. He said, okay, no problem. Adam Warren came right back with that high fastball, and he was all over it like he knew it was coming. Home run number 5, RBI number 10 on the season for the Blue Jays cleanup hitter.
This team has a lot of good things going on right now, and he knew he got it all. We have seen him hit a couple of home runs like that where he really squares it up and can enjoy it as he jogs out of the batter's box.
Started his career right here with the Yankees. He's hit in this ballpark before. He knows when he gets it.
Russell Martin's had a good night at the plate. Had a leadoff double in the 4th and a leadoff walk in the 5th. You ever drop your bat like that when you hit a home?
No. I didn't hit him like that. You know? If I did hit it like that, maybe. He's got some power. 18 home runs last year. That's number 5 already.
Yeah, he's in a good spot right now. Russell Martin lines it to center. That's going to hang up for Hicks. Russell's had a good night swinging the bat so far.
You got to like what you're seeing from the Blue Jays offensively. Coming right back tonight.
4 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They've had a lot of base runners tonight. You mentioned the 8 walks.
They came into this game 2nd in the major leagues in runs scored per game. And they're showing you why. Very diverse. They've got some speed. They've got some guys who can handle the bat. And they're showing they still have some power in this lineup.
Henrys Morales playing for the first time since coming off the DL. He's been on base 3 times. Reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Hit a Book double with an RBI in the 4th and had a single and scored in the 5th.
He is looking for something out over the plate. There's someone loosening up.
He might be coming into the game.
Yeah, Marco's right around 100 pitches, 5 innings.
Bouncing ball to the right side. Warren is there and steps on the bag to retire Morales. 2 away. You mentioned the Blue Jays scoring a lot of runs. Well, the only team scoring more, the Red Sox, and they have been on fire. Boston has just been terrific. As a team, they're hitting .292. They're slugging almost .500. They hit 11 home runs in the Angels series. They hit 6 home runs in the first game of that series.
The first game, that was the Mookie Betts where he hit 3, right?
The Red Sox will be at Rogers Center next Tuesday. 11 home runs in the series, the most the Red Sox hit in a 3-game series since '77. In '77, against the Yankees, they hit 16 home runs in a 3-game series.
16.
So Boston will be at Rogers Center starting next Tuesday. We'll get to see them for the first time this year. The Red Sox off to a terrific start. They're now 16-2. Only the 7th team since 1900 to win at least 16 of their first 18 games to start the season.
Last team to do it, the Brewers in 1987.
They lost opening day.
The Red Sox did, and they were winning. They gave up 6 runs in the 8th inning to lose that game.
Pilar tried to check his swing and he went too far. So Adam Warren comes in, gives up a leadoff home run to Yermín Solarte to add to the Blue Jays lead. Solarte with home run number 5, RBI number 10. The Blue Jays lead at 8-5. To retransmit it in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Big game for the offense tonight in New York. 8 runs on 8 hits. They pounded out 2 more home runs. They have an 8-5 lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th, and we will see a new pitcher for the Blue Jays.
The first one out of the bullpen tonight for the Jays, Sang-Won Oh. He last worked on Tuesday, game 1 of that doubleheader against Kansas City. He gave up a leadoff hit to Solarte and then retired the next 3 batters. He's got that ERA down to 2.57 in his 8 games this year. He's already won a game. So he will face Gary Sanchez to lead it off. Fastball slider has been a lot better. Slider's been a lot better his last couple of times out.
He's thrown a lot of first pitch strikes. Delivers another one to Sanchez. Gary Sanchez 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Oh, I think he's going to get better and better with more work He had a very abbreviated spring training. Didn't get a chance to pitch an awful lot.
I think his arm will get stronger. I think his breaking ball will get better. Got to be able to retire that first batter. He's faced first batter efficiency is at 50%. He's only retired 4 of the 8 batters that he has faced. Makes your job a lot easier if you can get that first guy.
Sanchez goes after that high heater.
Yeah, I don't know if that is by design to go. He's thrown 4 fastballs up there, but Russell's not giving him that high target. He's giving him a low target, but those fastballs have been letter high, all 4 of them.
Pete Walker just getting to know O and what he does most effectively, and same for Russell Martin. Breaking ball missed off the plate. O is 35 years old. This is his 3rd season in the big leagues. He had a breakout season in 2016 with the Cardinals, his first major league season. There's strike 3. He used that little cutter on the inside corner to strike out Sanchez, first out of the inning.
Canada's favorite car cheers for Canada's favorite team. Honda, proud fan since 1977, and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
A cold night in the Bronx. There's no getting around it. It was down around 0 degrees. But the Blue Jay bats are hot. There's a curveball that missed. Aaron Hicks has been aboard twice. He walked and scored in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. You're right. I think he's underneath his fastball a little bit, just more mechanically out of rhythm than anything.
Yeah, the lower half looks like it's a little bit ahead of his arm. He's not getting it up quick enough. One remedy for that is throw some breaking balls, and there's one of them. What that
pitch, excuse me, go ahead.
What that does is it helps you to get on top of the ball just a little bit more and keep that hand where it needs to.
Just off the plate outside. 3-1 to Hicks.
Pete is a big proponent about timing for pitchers, getting the ball out of the glove while you're over the rubber to make sure you can clear your arm and stay in your lane. That's a strike. He missed his spot, but it was a strike. When you're on time as a pitcher, when everything's working together, the legs work together in unison with the arm, you stay on top of it and you can control where you're throwing the ball.
Strike 3 call. O comes all the way back to get the strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for O here in the 6th.
That has been his strong point in his career, being able to throw strikes and quality strikes. He comes all the way back by painting that outside corner. Too close to take with 2 strikes.
In his first season with the Cardinals, he had 103 strikeouts in 79 2/3 innings. He really caught the league flat-footed. That cutter just missed off the plate. Tyler Austin, the first baseman. Blue Jays got him to ground into a big double play in the 4th. It was big because the next batter, Andujar, hit a home run. So it was a solo home run.
I hope they show that tonight in the highlights of the Blue Jay package, because you're going to see the talent of Gurriel turning it. What a turn at second base. And the impressive part about that turn was his arm strength. with a flick of the wrist, he got that ball over to first base.
Pass Solarte into left field off the bat of Austin, his second hit of the ball game. A 2-out single. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Chris Archer against Lance Lynn, the starters. They are both out of the game. Lynn gives up 5 earned runs on 7 hits over 6 innings. Minnesota just returning from Puerto Rico, having split the 2-game series with the Cleveland Indians. And that second game was quite a marathon, 16 innings, a 2-1 game. It was so long that Joe Mauer started out the game at 34 and he finished at 35.
It was after midnight. In fact, we flew here to New York, into Newark, drove all the way to the hotel, and turned it on and got to watch the last inning up in our hotel room.
They traded solo home runs in the 14th. Edwin Encarnacion and Miguel Sano, and then Minnesota won it. Look out.
He wanted that ball up, not necessarily up and in like that. Not a bad idea to just back him off the plate a little bit. See, Russell wants it up, but it's up and in. Now you got to go down and away, slider off the plate.
Fastball away. You know what? The hitter doesn't know that was unintentional, and there's some reservations about him being aggressive out over the plate. So that ball up and in can be effective. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the 6th. Miguel Andujar hit his second big league home run back in the 4th.
Still throwing them fastballs.
Danny Barnes starting to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Obviously, on a night like this, you want to give your relievers plenty of time to get loose.
Andujar does have power. He had 16 home runs and 82 RBIs between 2 spots last year in the minor leagues, in AA and in AAA.
Home runs, 5 combined by the Blue Jays and the Yankees. And the Blue Jays, I don't think necessarily you could call the Blue Jays a home run hitting ball club. When you look at their hitters, I mean, there are no Judges or Stantons in their lineup, but John Gibbons' offense has been very, very consistent. They've had good at bats.
Good at bats. Yeah, especially with runners in scoring position.
Off the end of the bat. Diaz goes to second. That ends the inning. So Sun Won-Oh strikes out a pair, gives up a 2-out single, and nothing more. We'll go to the 7th. Blue Jays have the lead.
Thursday, April 26th, the first 15,000 fans in attendance receive this Josh Donaldson t-shirt. Join us pregame in the WestJet flight deck for live music and entertainment. BlueJays.com is where you need to visit for tickets.
We are back, 7th inning here in New York, and the Blue Jays trying to even the series at a game apiece. They have an 8-5 lead. Ledmus Diaz takes one down and away for ball 1.
Keep the pressure on. The Yankees, with that home run power in their lineup, can come back on anybody. So you're facing middle relief of the Yankees. Keep the pedal down and going.
Well, too, you'd like to get to Warren and maybe force them into using another reliever. They used 3 in last night's game. This is the second to work tonight.
Yeah, the only one we haven't seen is Chase and Shreve. Yankees are in a streak right now where they play 18 games in 18 days. And so Aaron Boone knows that his bullpen, they're carrying 7 of them out there 2 nights in a row, could be wearing thin.
Taking all the way, it's 3 balls and a strike to leadoff man here in the 7th. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is on deck. He has had a big night in his major league debut. Fly ball, shallow left field. Gregorius going out, makes the catch, 1 away. Drive of the game brought to you by the powerful all-new 2018 Civic Type R.
Lourdes Gurriel in his second major league at bat has a couple of runners on, and that's his first major league hit. Big league hit, 2 big league RBIs will come in, give the Blue Jays a 5-4 lead at the time. That was his first big league hit. It's also tonight's drive of the game. He would also add an RBI single his last time up.
He is 2 for 3 with 3 ribbies in his first big league game. Gurriel is one of 4 Jays all time to have 2 hits and at least 3 RBIs in his major league debut. Pat Borders, Eric Hinsky, and J.P. Arancibia are the others.
Well, the book on him was he can hit. And tonight he is showing that he can hit.
He's also the 9th Blue Jays player to have a multiple RBI effort in his major league debut. Interesting how quickly the profile of the Blue Jays changes with 24-year-old Gurriel and 25-year-old Teoscar Hernandez.
Young players with a lot of energy and some quickness and some speed and some athleticism.
It might be the beginning of the next stage for the Blue Jays. Anthony Alford, Vladdy Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette. Popped up. Right field. Stanton with a long run. He gets there, makes a nice catch. And a long way to go. Stayed with it. Makes a running catch for the second out of the inning.
The wind kept blowing that ball away from him. When it left the bat, it looked like it was going to be an easy fly ball to right field. The wind blew it towards the foul line, so Stanton's got to just keep running hard. You got to go run right through that baseball like he does to make the catch. He went a long way for that one. How that ball just keeps drifting away from him, but he stayed right with it.
Got to turn the lineup over. Granderson takes ball 1. Curtis has walked twice tonight. He's scored a run. Blue Jays have drawn 8 walks. Another ball gets away from Sanchez. Three and one now to Granderson. Teoscar Hernandez is next. If Granderson can reach. Check swing, strike two.
Didn't mean to. Crossed him up with another breaking ball. The Yankee pitchers, they got some great arms, but they throw their fair share of off-speed pitches. Lots of them. 3-1. They were not going to come into Granderson and give him a room service fastball. 3-1.
Nine walks. Granderson with 3 of those. Lots of base runners for the Blue Jays.
Unfortunately, they haven't really been able to take advantage of those walks because only 2 of them have scored tonight. Granderson in the 3rd inning and Martin leading off the 5th.
Teoscar Hernandez with his 2nd home run of the season back in the 3rd inning. He's also picked up an RBI with a bases loaded walk. Upsetting himself for chasing that high heater. Outside. Boy, his plate discipline, I just can't say it enough. It's really improved. And you mentioned the mechanical adjustments that have allowed him to have better strike zone awareness.
I asked him the other day when he was telling me about the adjustments, how he's square now to the pitcher. He's not hitting from that close stance. I said, can you see the ball better? And he says, yes. It's allowed me to open up my front shoulder and my face. I can face the pitcher now and I can see the ball with a little bit better perception. When you're closed off, and I mean your left foot, if you're a right-handed hitter, your left foot's closer to the plate, your right foot is back behind you. You're almost looking around your shoulder at the baseball. You can't pick up the spin. He's made the adjustment and it's worked.
It's a piece of that one. It's 1-2. Adam Moore in the 3rd Yankee pitcher to work. Sonny Gray, the starter, went just 3 1/3, charged with 5 earned runs on 5 hits. He walked 4. He was followed by Domingo Germán, and Germán, he too had walk issues. He walked 4 in an inning and 2/3, and now Warren has walked 1. Blue Jays have left 8 men on base, despite the fact they have scored 8 runs. Strike 3 called. Hernandez caught looking at that fastball. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Danny Barnes coming out of the Blue Jays bullpen to face Torres, Gardner, and Judge.
go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
We are in New York, in the Bronx, Yankee Stadium, as the Blue Jays have an 8-5 lead. They go to the bottom of the 7th. The Blue Jays will send Danny Barnes out to start the bottom of the 7th, trying to protect this 3-run lead. Marco Estrada's the starter. He's in line for the win. Throws 98 pitches over 5 innings. He was touched up for 3 home runs, but he was able to get through 5 innings. 5 earned runs overall on 7 hits, walked the batter and struck out 4. So Estrada is in line for the win.
Yeah, all of those runs charged to Marco were from the home run. His old nemesis Austin got him for a 2-run homer. Stanton got a 2-run homer, and Andujar homered. But he's in line for the win if the Blue Jays bullpen can hang on. This is the second reliever of the night for the Jays. Danny Barnes, what a job he's done this year. Already 10 games this season. He's 1-0 with a .093 earned run average. In his career against the Yankees, he's had some great games. He's pitched 15 times. He's 2-0 with an ERA of about 3 against New York. He has come in and he has fired strikes. Fastball, changeup. He's got a little bit of a slider now, and has really impressed early on.
Danny Barnes is from Long Island. He is from Manhasset, New York. He was born in North Shore, New York, and he grew up in Manhasset. Went to Princeton in New Jersey. And he throws a first pitch strike. Ronald Torreyes is 1 for 2. He had a double his last time up. Sunma, works an inning, gives up a 2-out single, has a couple of strikeouts.
Then he really shows that changeup. Really hides it, and he's got a good one. Not afraid to throw it in any count. It looks odd that he's starting an inning. Blue Jays like to bring him in when the reliever who's in there before him gets into trouble, and he's come in and done a great job stranding runners.
He's able to do that because he has such good control. He comes in and makes quality pitches right out of the bat. He's been able to inherit runners and strand them. He's also got kind of an invisible fastball. A lot of swings and misses on his fastball. He's got 32.8% whiff on his fastball.
And normally it's up in the strike zone. There's one there that he was trying to paint away.
The major league average for swing and miss at the fastball is 19%, so Barnes well above average in that regard. So even though he throws 91-92, it's kind of a sneaky heater that he's got. Look at that. Throws his bat at the ball and singles into left field. Second hit of the night for Torreyes. Had a good start to this series. That's his 3rd hit.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just not fair. You make a great pitch, and this happens. Yeah, I think I'll just throw my bat at the baseball. You make a great pitch. Instead of hitting a weak ground ball or a line drive, a soft line drive at somebody, it's a base hit to left field.
Torreyes is now 13 for 31 for the season. His batting average is .419. Top of the order for New York. You can't sleep on the Yankees. They've obviously got a lot of power in their lineup.
And you'd love to retire these two, Torreyes and Gardner, before the home run hitters come to the plate. Gardner's going to work that count now. He's got it 2-0 in his favor again.
Judge is on deck. And we know what he does against the Blue Jays. He has 11 home runs against the Jays in the last 2 seasons. Barnes keeps pounding that fastball to Gardner.
I look at the stats of the players that the Yankees have in their career against the Blue Jays. The guy with the most home runs against the Jays is right here. He's hit 17 home runs against Toronto.
Then again, he's the longest tenured Yankee at 11 years. So he's hit those home runs over the span of 11 years.
Most versus any opponent, those 17 home runs.
Had to fight off that fastball. Gardner was 1 for 4 with a ribby in last night's game. So far tonight, he's 0 for 3.
Wow. He had him set up for that sneaky fastball that you were just talking about, where he can spin it. Had him set up for that fastball, got it by him, he just didn't get the call. Fastball, watch Russell's glove, he never moves.
If I could caught the outside corner. Full count. Tell you, those close calls are so crucial when you're at this point of their lineup. Judge is next, then Gregorius and Stanton.
Those kind of calls can change things in a hurry.
Similar kind of call last night with Chapman pitching. Fell behind 2-0 and got a called strike. Chapman would eventually strike out the side in the 9th on 12 pitches. Judge is the DH tonight. He has singled in 3 at-bats. He's going to slice foul.
He's just running and slashing right now, Brett Gardner. Seeing the ball and just trying to keep the at-bat alive.
The Blue Jays turned a double play in the 4th. It's the 21st ground ball double play they've turned this season. Their defense has been outstanding. Popped him up. Second baseman Gurriel on the dirt makes the catch. Gardner's retired. He's 0 for 4.
That is a huge out. If he loses him, this guy would represent the tying run. Now he can't beat you.
The single in the first was a bloop single that dropped near the right field foul line. Anderson had a long run and it was just hit into no man's land. Judge just 1 for 3 against Barnes. There's that swing and a miss on the fastball.
Yeah, registers just 92 miles an hour, but he can spin it and it gets up there. And batters have had trouble picking it up. I thought that fastball was placed perfectly. I want him to extend those arms. There's another one. Don't want him to extend and catch that ball out in front.
Well, as you mentioned, he doesn't represent the tying run, so you can go right back up
right there. I'd do it 3 times in a row. He missed those first 2 very badly on those swings. I think Russell's saying, let's do it again. He fakes like it's down, and he goes back up there. Beautiful.
Good job by Barnes. Judge swings right through it. We talk about his whiff rate among the best in baseball, and he punches out Judge for the second out of the inning.
He's got 2 strikes. Watch Russell fake like he wants this ball down. The hitter sees that, thinks that, feels that. He's asking for the breaking ball, and he throws that high fastball again.
All you need is a momentary hesitation from the hitter. 2 outs now. Didi Gregorius. Gregorius struck out his last time up. It was just the 5th time he struck out this season. That was in Estrada's last inning, the 5th. Ground ball. Gurriel moves to his right. Danny Barnes gives up a leadoff single and nothing more. We'll go to the 8th. The Blue Jays have a 3-run lead here in New York. Game series. He lost just 3 1/3. Second time he has been knocked out early. Second time in a row. Last time against the Red Sox in Boston, he lasted just 3 innings, gave up 6 earned runs. Tonight, 73 pitches over 3 1/3, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, and he didn't strike out a batter.
Before tonight, before the season, he had pitched against the Blue Jays 8 times and never pitched fewer than 6 innings in any of those 8 starts. This year, though, 4 innings in his first start, 3 1/3 in his second start. Blue Jays have his numbers so far this season.
Adam Warren working his 3rd inning. He's thrown 37 pitches. Smoke flares one over Gregorius. It drops for a base hit. So Smoke's on the board. He's 1 for 5. That's the 9th hit for the Blue Jays.
And he's saying, why didn't I get one of those with those runners on base? But he'll take it.
Jason Shreve, the lefty, loosening up. You got to think with 38 pitches in the book for Warren, that'll take him out of tomorrow's game.
I bet you they make a roster move to get an extra arm into that bullpen. 2 straight days where the starter can't go at least 5 innings really taxes those arms in the pen.
Herman threw 47 pitches in an inning in 2/3, and for me, he'd be the likely candidate. And that's been a way that major league teams are working now. They have so many optionable pitchers that they just go down AAA, bring up another guy to give them a fresh arm. So you can imagine the call's already gone out.
Day game tomorrow? Yeah.
And Nervous Solarte is 1 for 3. He hit a deep home run in the 6th. Out in front of this one. Skied into center field. Hicks has been a busy man out in center. Russell Martin, he scored a couple of runs tonight with a double and a walk. Ryan Tepera loosening up the Blue Jays. Barnes is basically a guy that can go inning and 2/3, 2 innings. John Axford probably the same, but that's about it. The rest of them are 1-inning pitchers.
They're trying to stretch some of the Blue Jay relievers out to get a few more innings. Last night it was Clippard and Axford. They each threw an inning for the Jays. Tonight you mentioned that O has pitched Barnes, and it looks like Ryan's going to be coming in.
Boy, Sanchez has had a couple of rough nights here. He took one in the cup right there after having another pass ball, a couple of wild pitches get past him, and he takes a foul chip, and he's going to
want to walk it off.
Yep.
And this is where the umpires say, you know what, I'm not charging him a mound visit here. This is just to walk it off and try to feel a little bit better.
Of course, the umpires can sympathize with him. You okay? You ready to go? No visit. That's the sign from a home plate umpire. He needed to extend an opportunity for Sanchez to take a little break. So Russell Martin at the plate, a ball and 2 strikes on the Blue Jays catcher. Russell's double in the 4th, his first double of the season, to go along with 2 homers.
He caught that ball out in front, that double you were talking about. He got himself into a fastball count at 3-1, geared up for that fastball, timed it perfectly. Smoked that ball into the gap.
The Blue Jays have a couple of home runs tonight. Hernandez a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Solarte a solo shot in the 6th. Inside breaking ball, started it off the plate, and Martin is called out. Aaron Boone quickly out of the Yankee dugout, and he has already made the call to the bullpen. So Warren goes 2 2/3 innings. It'll be Chasen Shreve, the left-hander. He'll turn Morales around. The lefty will come in to face Kendrys Morales, who's had a 2-hit game tonight. He's also scored a pair of runs in his first game off the DL.
Was seeing the ball better, hitting the ball with a lot of authority, hard to the middle of the field. Morales said he felt way better about his game. Well, he feels a lot better about his game now than he did at the start of the season. Bucky says he hopes he can pick up where he left off and start to find that rhythm once again. And he has had a couple of hits tonight, so looks like he's getting back into the groove.
He's a big bat in their lineup, and he's a switch hitter, so they turn him around to bat right-handed. Chasen Shreve last pitched on Monday in the series against the Marlins.
Hasn't given up a run in 6 1/3 innings this year.
Morales hits it high and deep to right. Stanton on the warning track. He's got room. He makes the catch. Morales is retired on 1 pitch. So we will go to the bottom of the 8th. The Blue Jays trying to even the series at a game apiece. Time now for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Kevin Barker from the Samsung Broadcast Studio as Ryan Tepera comes in. It's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell, Joe Siddle, and Kevin Barker. It's 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Marcus Stroman will go up against the lefty, Jordan Montgomery. Stroman always gets up for pitching against the Yankees here. He is a New York native, anxious to go up against New York. Stroman, for his career at the Yankee Stadium, he'll make his 8th start. He is 2-4 in those 7 previous starts, so he will be anxious to tee it up tomorrow. Ryan Tepera entered the ball game.
Ryan has taken over that 8th inning role for the Blue Jays. This is pitcher number 4 of the night for Toronto. 1-1. He's got his ERA under 3. Opponent's hitting just .219. His fastball's been pretty good. His two-seam fastball has been very impressive this year. There it is right there as he runs it inside to Stanton. He's got that great slider. So he's got 3 pitches he can go to get outs.
.95. 1-1 to Stanton.
Powder, River, just stay with it and just keep climbing up that ladder with that fastball.
Danny Barnes, a leadoff single, then he retired the next in order. Gardner, Judge, and Gregorius. Popped up. Smoke is not going to get there. The ball is into the Yankee dugout. Marcus Stroman will make the start tomorrow. It'll be his 4th start, looking to get things turned around in the right direction. A little bit of a rocky start to his season, but then again, you have to remember that Marcus didn't have a full spring training. He had the shoulder inflammation, didn't get to pitch an awful lot in spring training, so he's just kind of pitching his way into form.
I think he's going to lock it in eventually and get it rolling.
Little cutter squibbed off the end of the bat. Tepera gets on quickly and throws to first for the out.
That one was in a good spot. We were highlighting Stanton earlier about how he closes off his stance, and he can hit that ball away. Hit a home run to right field. That time Tepera put that slider right on the corner. He couldn't reach it.
Gary Sanchez 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Batting just 185. Goes after that first pitch slider. That's the new wrinkle that a lot of hitters haven't seen from Tepera.
He gets a lot of depth on it. It looks like a fastball and then just drops away from the righties. He combines that with a much improved two-seam fastball. He can run that thing in. He gets his share of ground balls with it.
Boy, they have pitched Sanchez tough tonight.
He's in swing mode, it looks like. It looks like he wants to do something dramatic. So he's swinging hard. Now you don't have to throw him a strike to get him an out.
That breaking ball is hard at 89 miles an hour. Boy, Russell did a heck of a job in this situation, moving quickly to play that off his chest protector. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Blue Jays split 4 games against New York in the season opening series at Rogers Center. After losing the first 2, they came back and won the final 2. Sanchez caught looking again. Strikes out for a 3rd time tonight. He's 0 for 4. Tepera 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th.
That was the same pitch that O got him in his last at bat. That backup breaking ball that just freezes him. O got him looking in the 6th inning. Tepera gets him here in the 8th, right on the inside corner, and he knows it.
Aaron Hicks. He's batting .304. Had a single in the 4th. He was erased by a double play off the bat of Tyler Austin.
Oh, got him looking also in the 6th inning by painting the 2-strike fastball away to him. He's an important player, I think, for the Yankees. Plays a great center field. Jacoby Ellsbury's still injured. He had a setback in his rehab, so it doesn't look like he's going to be coming soon. Plays a great center field. Can run. You make a mistake, he can knock it out of the ballpark too.
He did very well against the Blue Jays last year. Russell couldn't hang on to that foul chip. Two balls and 2 strikes, bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back here tomorrow afternoon, and John Gibbons will send Marcus Stroman to the mound, and he'll be opposed by the lefty Jordan Montgomery. Blue Jays trying to improve their record to 13-6. little bit deeper breaking ball there. You can see it's just 81 miles an hour, more of a slider than a cutter.
Yeah, tough at bat. Blue Jays didn't win their 12th game last season until May the 8th. You know, that's how it's been this year. Most wins through the first 18 games since 2009. Looking for number 13 tonight.
Popped over the screen, well back out of play. The Blue Jays have yet to lose a series this season. They have won 4 and split the 4 games with the Yankees. That was a pretty good pitch. Ted Barrett said no swing, but looked like it was a strike.
Yeah, looked like a called strike. They also have a 1 undecided, I guess you will, when you're talking about series. That Cleveland series, undecided. They'll finish it in a couple of weeks when they go back there.
I would count it as a series win. They only played 1 game and they won it. Plus, they didn't have to face Corey Kluber that weekend.
That's a victory in itself.
Little looper back behind second, and that's going to drop for Hicks. Hit it right off the end of the bat. He fouled off pitch after pitch. Spoiled some pretty good pitches and ends up with his second base hit of the ball game.
Say it's one thing about the Yankees. They give you good at bats. Torres threw his bat at the ball the last inning and got a base hit. Tepera makes a couple of good pitches. Looked like and sounded like he swung an icicle at that ball and hit it out there. That's how he feels. He said, hey man, I made a good pitch and doesn't have anything to show for it.
Tyler Austin's 2 for 3 with a home run. The Yankees have out hit the Blue Jays 10-9. Martin was thinking about making a throw to first base, but ball was in the dirt. Had shifted his body to get in position to take a shot at Hicks at first.
See Ryan really rubbing up that baseball to get a grip. You're out there for a while, your fingers start to get cold, you lose the grip of that baseball. You can blow on your hands, which is nice.
It is 6 degrees at the moment. It's supposed to warm up tomorrow, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. I think it'll be warm if the sun's out.
Struck him out. Austin strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Tepera. We'll go to the 9th. Pilar, Diaz, and Gurriel. Gurriel's had a big night.
your Toronto Blue Jays. Come visit us at the Toronto Eaton Centre, Rogers Centre, Gates 1 and 5, and every in-stadium kiosk. For more information, call 1-877-JSHOP or visit jshop.ca.
And they're going to sell lots of toques and sweatshirts at Jay's shop because everybody needs one right now. So we have made it to the 9th inning. Kevin Pillar, Aledmus Diaz, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. against Chasen Shreve. Pillar's at 1 for 3. He's also walked.
I think this is where the manager says to his pitcher, you got the 9th. Don't look over your shoulder like somebody's going to come in. Finish this one off.
We are not going any deeper into our bullpen. This is all you, Chasen Shreve. Shreve is the 3rd reliever to work. Sonny Gray, 3 and a 3rd. Another fly ball to Hicks.
Got that funky low arm delivery, kind of like Aaron Loop. Hides the ball well. Fastball slider. Much better this year for Shreve.
Roberto Osuna, it is a save situation. It's a 3-run ball game. Osuna 5 for 5 in save opportunities this season. Osuna against the Yankees, 16 for 17 in save opportunities. Perfect 7 for 7 here at Yankee Stadium. Aledmus Diaz. Diaz is 0 for 3. Everybody in the Blue Jays lineup has reached base tonight. Diaz walked in the 5th. Fly ball into left. Gardner will get there, make the catch. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th. So here is the rookie who's had quite a major league debut. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs.
Flawless defense tonight. Had a great turn on a double play earlier. So he has become everything that he's been advertised. What we have heard, what we have seen. So far tonight, he has shown it off. I think that's proof, Buck, that you can make the jump from Double-A to the big leagues. If you can prove that you can play in Double-A, that's where he was when the Blue Jays called for him last night.
Well, he can call his big brother, Yuli Gurriel, and say, you know what? I've got 3 ribbies. You've only got 4. Yuli Gurriel of the Astros going into action tonight. 24 at bats with 4 RBIs. This time Gurriel strikes out. So Shreve retires all 4 he has faced in this ball game. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Roberto Osuna coming on, looking for the save.
Presented by Honda. You can count on us to get home safe. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and proud fan since 1977.
Blue Jays lost last night 4-3. They have an 8-5 lead as the Yankees are set in bottom of the ninth, and they will face Roberto Osuna, the Blue Jays closer.
Roberto in line for his 6th save and 6 opportunities. He last worked in that Game 2 doubleheader against the Royals. Blue Jays would eventually win that game in extra innings on that walk-off hit by Luke Malavit. He's been perfect this season. Hasn't given up a run. Hasn't really given much of anything. He has pounded that strike zone with his fastball.
Defensive replacement in right. Randall Grichuk takes over for Curtis Granderson. Andujar, Torres, and Gardner, the scheduled batters here in the ninth for the Yanks. High fly ball to right. Grichuk is there. One away.
You know, we have talked about Gurriel tonight making his major league debut. Roberto Osuna made his major league debut in this ballpark also just a few seasons ago. Impressive.
They have both done very well for themselves. Gurriel just one game, though Osuna has been terrific. He's thrown a lot of strikes. He has been so consistent in his ability to get ahead in situations.
Well, he realized that at the end of last season, he had just given up a home run on an inside cutter to Castillo of Baltimore and realized, said, you know what? My best pitch is a well-placed fastball. He's got a really good fastball, but he combines it with the ability to hit the outside or the inside corner. He said, I'm going to go back to my strengths, and look what he's put together so far.
1-2 to Torres. Ronald has 2 hits. He's 2 for 3. Single and a double. Osuna has been so efficient with his pitches. He's averaged 12.4 pitches per inning for the season. Time and time again, he will come out and pound the strike zone with strike after strike. This is his 9th game of the season. Nice play. Solarte knocks it down. Can't find it. That'll be the 3rd hit of the game for Torres.
Doubled in the 4th. Got that hit off of Barnes in the 7th, and now it's a ground ball that Solarte knocks down, and that's about it. Gets over there. It's in the glove. It's out of the glove, and then kicks it. Infield hit.
That's the 3rd 3-hit game of the season for Torres. This is his 11th game. Torres batting .438. Don't let this game get away from you here.
This is a big at-bat. Last time they were in this area, Barnes had given up the hit, and he had to get Gardner because the tying run is sitting on deck if Gardner gets on, so you got to get him out.
Good fastball. 95 at the knees. And there's that man on deck. Never had a hit against Osuna. But Gardner 0 for 4 to this point. That one hits Phil Nevin, the 3rd base coach. Osuna's ahead of Gardner 0-2. Chopper towards first. Smoke will tag Gardner out. 2 away. Big out, as you mentioned, Pat. On the play, Torres moves to second.
Yeah, his run doesn't mean anything. That guy who hit the ball did. Now, if he hits a home run, you're still leading.
We mentioned Judge is 0 for 7. Going up against Osuna. Roberto, a perfect 7 for 7 in save opportunities in this ballpark. Again, a great job by Russell Martin receiving that low pitch, getting the call.
And he went down there, got it, framed it up to get the strike. They had success in his last at bat, elevating the fastball. Danny Barnes struck him out on 3 well-placed fastballs.
They wanted that last fastball up. He missed down, but it was in a good spot down and away. 0-2.
He wanted to go back up there. Judge has become so patient at the plate, right up there amongst the leaders in the American League in walks.
Strike 3 call. Osuna strikes out Judge, who goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. Osuna picks up the save, his 6th of the season. Big debut for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 3 RBIs in a 2-hit game. Teoscar Hernandez with another home run, and the Blue Jays have evened the series at a game apiece.
You know,